Good morning, everybody. I'd like to welcome all to the webinar. This morning, our presenter will be Spencer. He will be taking us through the parts store. Take it away, Spencer.
Thank you, Kevin. Good morning. Parts Store is an order request service. It allows customers 24-hour access to look up parts and send order requests to our Lift Parts department. This site offers OEM parts support through MCFA, as well as competitive manufacturer parts support through Rapid Parts. Parts Store also gives you the ability to track those orders all the way through the process, from parts request to parts delivery. Another nice thing is all screens and windows on this site are a mirror of what our parts people see. So if you need help during an order process, just call our lift department. They'll be able to walk you through it. Also, this website is mobile friendly, so it should resize to fit any screen that you utilize to get. So let's take a look. What we're going to go over today is what's contained inside the Parts Store website itself, and then go over a couple different methods you can use to request and track your parts orders. Now, upon logging in, this will be the default page you'll be presented with. Toward the center, you'll see recent order activities. This will show a quick summary and status of your most recent orders. You can see the status over here on the right. If you hold your mouse over any one of these little info bubbles that pops up on this site, you'll be presented with another set of information to further explain whatever it is you're looking at. Now, I only have two on here. You can see you have one item, and this one was canceled. The recommended parts area down below, you'll see, is populated by a combination of your purchase history and the trucks that are in your fleet. This recently purchased tab is just that. However, this is also the quickest way to find and reorder parts from your past purchases. In this case, we've got this air cleaner element assembly here. If you go down to the right, you can just add this straight to cart the way it is. A little check mark, you come up here and make sure you've got a 1 in your cart, and you're good to go. Now let's start up here in the upper left as well. What you'll see here is the Quinn Lift logo, as well as a parts number field for a search. Now the Quinn Lift logo will take you back to the starting page, which is the default load, no matter where you are on the site. Now, entering a part number in here, then you click search. However, there are two things to note when using this field. One is the search requires a full or partial part number to function correctly. Keyword searches do not work here. So things like horn, relay, switch. We'll actually type in horn real quick to show you what happens. You get no parts found. This requires a number. All right, then we click on Quinn Lift, and it can take us right back to the home page again. The next window to the right is the My Truck box. This box allows you to manually search a specific truck for parts if a part number is not already known. There are three ways to do this. You can select a truck from your fleet, you can do an OEM search by model, or you can search through manuals for MCFA trucks. Selecting a truck allows you to easily start a search from one of your trucks in your fleet. Let's try this. This blue text right here says 5 available. We'll click on that. We'll then click on the drop-down box, and you can see my options here. These trucks that populate this list are the ones that have been programmed in by Quinn for your account. And I'll show you in a little bit where you can make that request. And for now, we will select a 55. All right. And we will hit update. And there it is up here. Now, while selecting a truck is not necessary for searching or for ordering parts, it does do two things for you. Firstly, it sets the selected truck, which for us is this one, as the default when associating a part to a truck when adding items to your cart. I'll show you an example of this when we do our demo. Secondly, selecting a truck up here does allow you to easily start a model type search from the selected truck. And this is done just by clicking on the magnifying glass. You'll see in a second, this is a model search type parts finding, but it skips 2 steps for you and goes straight to what's available. Now again, we click on the Quinn lift logo and we go back. Okay. Now, the other thing in here is a model search button. This one, and as you can see, this is where we go to search competitors' trucks and our own. See, we still have cat lift trucks in here. But you can see there are many, many manufacturers in here to go search through for parts. And clicking on the logo again, if you've clicked incorrectly, will always again take you right back home. Starting a part search by using the manuals button right here allows you to choose a truck from Caterpillar, Mitsubishi, or Young Heinrich, as you can see. The last window on the right has my location, your account icon, for me it's this one, and the icon for the shopping cart. As you can see, we have a 1 in because we took something from recently purchased. The address shown under my location is what is programmed in for your account. If your organization has multiple locations, you can choose between them by clicking on the address. There is a search bar depending on how many options you have, and you can just close it. Shopping icon takes you to your cart. All right, and you can get to this. This bar up top will remain here the whole time, so any one of these options you can click on. We'll be going over the shopping cart in more detail later, so I'll leave it alone for now. The circle in the upper right, which is your account. The account button opens a window where you can change your location settings, your contact information, language preferences, and it's where you can log out if your organization has multiple users. Now moving down below, we're going to take a look at these guys right here. And this first one, you click on catalog, you can do a search for things by category. In categories, we can see everything from batteries and accessories to electrical. You've got rebuild kits and even promotional items. There's even shop supplies and safety gear. Let's click on shop supplies real quick to take a look, for example. On the left side, you can see categories that you had in the previous window. So you can hop back and forth in case you're boom, 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 bouncing around. In the upper right, once you click in here, you can actually do a search by keyword within your category. So let's take a quick look at battery chemicals real fast. Once you click down into one of these categories, you're presented with a list. And at this point, you're going to need to click on a part number, not the word or any of the others, in order to drill down into that item. Once you're presented with this window, this will look like many of the other windows once you get down to a very specific item. From here, you can associate this with any of the trucks that are programmed in your fleet, or you can hit Do Not Add to Truck. Again, same as always, change your quantity, and you can add it to cart. And we'll wait for, there's our number. And again, we click on Quinn Lift logo to get us all the way back. The next is the Fleet tab. And this is broken down into 2 sections. You can see My Fleet and Purchase History. We're going to take a look at My Fleet first. This is a list of all the trucks that have been programmed into the account. Results can be filtered by manufacturer and model and can be searched through by serial number. Let's take a look at that. We're going to select cat lift trucks. That limits our results. And then we're going to further filter it by model, at which point we get to our one result. If your organization has many, many trucks, this is a very quick way to manage which ones you want to play with. And to go back, just clear your filters. Now you can select the magnifying glass on an asset line to start a new parts search for that truck. This search that starts with the magnifying glass is the same as the search that starts with the magnifying glass from up here. You end up in the model search style into the category you can choose for that particular model. And we're going to go back to fleet and then my fleet. Now selecting a serial number, these are blue, you can click on them, will show you the purchase history for that truck. In this screen on the right side is a column that has the dollar amount totals of parts ordered for each truck. In the upper right, we can see an orange button labeled Request New Asset. This is where you'll be requesting a new truck be added to your account. You'll click on this. You will fill out these fields. All right. And then click Request. Quinn will receive this request and then add the truck to your account. Now let's take a look at purchase history. Purchase history shows order history for your entire fleet broken down by truck. This list can be filtered by truck and time, and it also can be searched again by asset number. Column headings can be changed, you can see right here, to organize your results. And a single line would show total cost of parts for a single truck within an order. The overall total for parts ordered of a fleet at a given is down here at the right. All right, now let's take a look at the Orders tab. It shows all orders placed and their statuses for an account. All right, and again, these columns, this date column can be moved. So can these. You can order these by totals. All right. In the upper left, you can change how many entries are shown from 10 all the way to 100. And in the upper right, you can do a search for a part number or keyword. So in this case, if you have many, many results, I only have 2, you can type something in like air, and it narrowed my results down to here. At which point, if you click on this little orange guy, you can see there are 1 items in here. We'll take a quick into it. And this right here is what it picked up on. So you can do, back in that other window, you can do a keyword search or part number search for a very specific part within all of your orders and have this software find it for you. It's a very nice way to reorder parts. It's a very nice way, if there's questions about where stuff is, you can check on the status. All right. Selecting an order number brings up details for that order. We just saw one of those windows right now. If your order has a tracking number right up here, it can be used to call in to find out more information about your order. It can be used for reference for your invoice as well. From this window, if you add to cart when you're looking up a order, it will add to cart all of the items in this order. For me, it's just 1, but if you had multiple, it would dump all of them into the cart. Okay. The individual parts brings up the reorder. So anytime you get one of these, you just click on one of the parts you want, and it will take you back into this window, which you saw with the battery cleaner, and at which point you can associate it with whatever truck you'd like and add to cart. And there we are. Now we've got 3. And also a little further down, you'll see that this shows right here the order that this was processed in last. All right. Now, let's do a couple of examples on different ways you can order parts. We'll start with a parts number search first. So remember, come back up here where you have your search field. And what we'll be utilizing this morning is a partial parts number. So 1515. And we'll hit search. Give it a minute to take a look around. And then what we will come up with is we are going to select our oil filter. All right. Now you've got 2 options. From the search results here, you'll notice you have the same choices you did when you clicked down into an individual item. So from here, you can change it to whichever one you'd like. We'll do this one. Change the quantity. We'll make it 2. And you can add it to cart from here. And there we are. Now we're up to 5. Now, the next one we'll do is a search by model. So I'll go all the way back. You'll click on model. And for us this morning, we're going to be taking a look at a Crown. And we're going to go all the way down to RC 5500. There it is. And we are going to go to, we're going to look for a filter. And there it is. There's our hydraulic filter. Now we are going to change, see how it defaulted to the cat lift truck here? When we know we were looking up a Crown, that's because you selected it up here. So if you do that and you look up a secondary truck while you're still selected in here, be careful. Make sure that you go and change it. And we'll add this to cart. And I'll wait for the number to update. There's the 6 added. Perfect. Now, the last method I'll show you is within the manuals. All right, so click on the button, and we're going to select cat lift trucks. And this takes you to this window, and we are going to type in a serial number. I have typed it in previously, so we're going to select the 47. We're going to hit go. We're going to select our P5000. We're going to take a look in the chassis cooling system, common parts. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can see what we're doing. And we're going to click on 1. As you can see, these 3 lighted up. What you're going to want to do is click on the one that doesn't have an S in it. So down here. And there's 2 ways to go from here. You can either click on the part number itself to the left, and it'll bring up this window, which you've seen before. A little bigger. There we go. You can change your truck again, or no truck. There we go. Now we can see it. You can see your quantity 1, and you can add to cart right here. I'm not going to do it right now, but there is a secondary method where you come all the way over to the right side of the screen and add it to a pick list. And we're going to add that to a pick list because we want the other hose as well. So instead of going through these parts pictures individually, what you can do is you can come here and you can add this to a pick list. Go to a separate parts picture, and we'll say 5. and add this to a pick list. Now, to access the pick list, you'll come up here to the right. There's 3 options: log out, support, and then pick list. We'll select that. And here's our list. So from here, it's a little easier to do that process I showed you before. All right. Make sure this is one. Good. Add to cart. Come up to the top and make sure the number, yep, updates. Close the window. Click the next one. Scroll down. Truck is good. Number's good. Add to cart. Make sure the number updates. Very good. Close. Number's good. Truck's good. Add to cart. Nine. Perfect. All right. And what you're going to do with this is you just close, come up here and just close the tab. You're done with it. You'll hit cancel here, or I should say this, you can also click the X. So we'll try that. There we go. Now you can see though, we're still sitting at 6 here. So make sure after you've done one of these processes, when you look through the manuals in the MCFA brands, make sure you reload the page. There we are. Now we're up to 9. All right. Now it's time to take a look at the cart, now that there's something in it. One of the first things I want to bring to your attention is this little orange guy right here. If you hold the mouse over it, it says download CSV file. This can be used for reorders, and it can also be used to get a purchase order. It's basically a quote. And we can see we have 9 up here. Got quite a list. All right. From here, you can remove individual items if you so choose. Say, see, I've clicked this twice right here. We just knock one of those out. There we go. Now, if you hold the mouse over any of the info bubbles for an item, we can see what truck it was attached to. That was there. Filter oil, this one. There's the crown. Here's our 55, and our 55. So basically within this one order, you have manually, during the adding process, broke out your individual parts per which truck they need to go to, even though you've ordered them all at the same time on the same order. Part Store will separate those numbers out for you and keep individualized track of your parts cost totals for each truck. This is just an example of where you can see that. Now, unfortunately, though, the stock bubble only shows the stocking information for MCFA distribution warehouses. It does not currently push forward information from Quinn stock warehouses. So if you have an emergency order or you just have a question about it, just get the part number, call our lift department. They'll be able to help you out. All right. Now, on to checkout. The order information is pretty straightforward. Your order location, you'll see, is the same one programmed in for your organization. Now, this doesn't mean it has to be that way. If you guys have multiple locations, you can select from one of those addresses here, or you can even add a new address if you'd like. Fill it out. You can even set it as your new default, and you can save it. We'll close that out for now. We're going to leave this alone. Now you select your shipping options. All right, I'm going to select CPU, customer pickup. I'm going to leave the freight term, billing. For a PO number, I'm just going to type in some gibberish. And a little ways further down, that gives you an approximation of what the weight of your shipping package will be. All right, we'll go to next. And here, you verify the order. You check your shipping, check your ship to, your PO number. You can again check your quantities, make sure your trucks are correct, and everything's okay. check your total, your taxes, and then you can click submit. If anything here is not what you'd like, you can always click this button and go right back to the cart. At which point you can go back down into here, change it, add to cart. All right, we can go back to cart again. Now, as you can see, we have two. One has been assigned to a serial number, and our original one that we clicked on was not. So we just remove the original one. Now when we check out, you can see that every one of our things is assigned to a truck. All right, very good. Once more, we'll click the Quinn Lift logo and go all the way back. So today we've covered multiple ways that the parts store offers to search for parts, not only for MCFA brands, but for competitors' parts as well. We've seen some of the many areas you can order parts from in the catalog section. We've looked at how you can manage your fleet in your account and where you can go. One more reminder real quick, where you can go to request a new asset in case your organization buys a new fleet of trucks, 1 to 75. Now, you can also search through your order history for both individual parts and entire orders. We saw that. So, with that, I will conclude my presentation on the parts store. And I'd like again to thank you very much for taking the time this morning to listen in. Any questions you have can be later on can be sent into training webinars at quinngroup.net.